at addressing illegal mining activities within Sekhukhune district. During the operation, the team went to Triton Chrome storage in Steelpoort, where they found an alleged geologist, Jan Okamp, in possession of piles of chrome valued at more than 20 million rand inside the yard. He failed to produce a permit or on request by the police and placed under arrest for possession of suspected stolen chrome. Preliminary investigation by the HAWKS established that the recovered chrome was mined illegally from various mines in Sekhukhune district. The recovered chrome was confiscated. The investigation revealed that Okamp is not the only accused who is responsible for the recovered chrome, but other two men who held senior position at Triton Mineral Africa too. Following investigation, the National Prosecuting Authority issued warrants of arrest for the outstanding suspect, Gary Mitchell and Mark Mitchell. On the 13th of September 2024, the HAWKS arrested the two suspects in Beggarsford who are believed to be kingpins behind illegal mining activities within the Limpopo province for possession of suspected stolen property, which is chrome valued at over 20 million rand. They appeared before the Beggarsford Magistrates Court on the 16th of September 2024, where they were granted bail of 5,000 rand each. The case is remanded to the 27th and the 28th of January 2025. Case number 18, Organized Crime Projects Down, Giant, Net 4 in the Northwest. Between February 2016 and February 2020, 4 individuals were alleged to have been involved in illegal procurement of gold-bearing material from unlicensed individuals and entities by an active gold mine. During the disruptive operation, gold-bearing material to the value of 17 million was seized from several premises. A forensic accounting investigation determined that the value of illegally acquired gold that was also disposed of is about 111 million rands. Warrant of arrest of the 4 individuals were issued by the magistrate at Selfontein. On the 30th of September 2024, Karel Frederick Cornelius, Edmund Walker van Staden, and Barbie Rousson Mansell were arrested by the Serious Organized Crime Investigation of Klerksdorp. On the 3rd of October 2024, the 4th individual, Lobertus Jacobus van Baal, was also arrested. This one I'm just quoting because it needs to complete the chain. It happened after the period under review. The quartet faces charges of contravention of the Precious Metals Act 37 of 2005 and money laundering and acquisition, possession of or use of the proceeds of crime in terms of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act POCA of 1998. They have been granted 10,000 rand bail, and the case is postponed to the 23rd of October 2024 for further investigation, which further investigation was intended to secure the arrest of the 4th suspect that has already been arrested. Coming to the serious commercial crime matters. Case number 19, trio convicted for fraud and money laundering. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. During March 2016, Duran Tavarayan was a treasury supervisor at Massmart. He was to pay all companies that were doing business with the company. During this period, he colluded with his friend Uves Pillay and Selvan Naika by falsifying invoices which were presented to Massmart. It was established that the money was not paid into the accounts of the companies. that were supplying Massmart. Instead, the money was paid into the accounts of the accused's friends. As a result, the company suffered a loss of 2,418,500 rands. A case was reported to the police and allocated to the HAWKS Serious Commercial Crime Investigation, Durban, for further investigation. An intensive investigation led to the arrest of the 3 accused. The trio were charged with fraud and money laundering. They appeared several times in court until the 28th of August 2024, where they were found guilty on 9 counts of fraud by the Durban Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. Over and above, the court convicted Pillay and Naika on 68 counts of money laundering. The matter is remanded to the 11th of November 2024 for sentencing. In case number 20, Ugandan fake healers to share 20 years imprisonment. This happened in the Eastern Cape. On the 1st of July 2019, the complainant went to visit a traditional healer at East London CBD. He was taken to a consulting room attended by 2 Ugandans, Kiseka Rashid and Tony Lubenga, who introduced themselves as traditional healers. During the consultation, the complainant was made to believe that he was talking to his ancestors. Subsequently, he was convinced to resign from his job in order to get all his pension money, which he did. He was told by the duo to withdraw his pension money and to bring it to them so that it would multiply. He followed their direction, and as a result, he lost 3 million rands. He then reported the matter, which was assigned to the HAWKS for investigation. On the 18th of March 2021, Rashid and Lubenga were arrested by the East London-based Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Team of the HAWKS and appeared before East London Magistrate Court on the 19th of March 2021. They were remanded in custody. The accused made numerous court appearances. On the 4th of July 2024, the duo were convicted and sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for fraud and 3 months imprisonment for contravention of Section 49 of the Immigration Act of 2002 by the East London Regional Court. Case number 21. Steinhoff culprit arrested, convicted and sentenced. Head Office. In December 2016, the former chief executive officer of Steinhoff, Marcus Jooste, allegedly created transactions which had no economic substance, resulting in inflated Steinhoff UK operating profits of about 5.5 billion rands. In December 2017, he resigned after earning more than 650 million in 4 years. The Financial Sector Conduct Authority imposed 475 million fine on Jooste for contravention of the Financial Markets Act, FMA, related to his reporting on the financial position on Steinhoff International. On the 20th of March 2024, the Serious Economic Offences Unit of DPCI and the National Prosecuting Authority secured arrest warrants for Jooste and Stephanus Johannes Hrobler on allegation of fraud, a pattern of racketeering activities and contravention of the FMA. The suspects were expected to hand themselves over at the Pretoria Central SAPS and thereafter appear in Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crime Court on the 22nd of March 2024. After being notified of the arrest warrants, Jooste allegedly committed suicide on the afternoon of the 21st March 2024. Grobler appeared in court on the 25th of March 2024, where he was granted 150,000 rand bail, and the matter was postponed to the 26th June of 2024. On the 26th June of 2024, the former chief financial officer of Steinhoff, Andries Benjamin Lagrange, handed himself over to the HAWKS and was arrested. He appeared at the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crime Court, where he was granted 150,000 rand bail, and the case was postponed to the 4th of October 2024, and now it has been postponed to 14 February 2025. On the 26th of September 2024, Dr. Gerardus Berger was arrested by the DPCI and appeared at Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, where he pleaded guilty on insider trading. He was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment, which is wholly suspended. Case number 22. Inmate sentenced for fraud and investment scam. This happened in Mpumalanga province. Between April and August 2016, $1 trillion legacy private company and Sandile Gagiso Montswe, 34 years, operated an investment scheme that defrauded 119 investors of more than 1 million rands. The matter was referred to the HAWKS Middleburg-based Serious Commercial Crime Investigation for further investigation. The investigation established that Manzwe tricked the victims into investing money by providing fake information on investment. On conclusion of investigation, summons were served on the suspect while he was in custody of correctional services, where he was serving 36 years imprisonment for murder. On the 22nd of August 2022, the duo was secured at Evander Regional Court. On the 16th of July 2024, the duo was found guilty on 120 counts of fraud, contravention of the provisions of the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Act 37 of 2002, read with the Consumer Protection Act 68 of 2008. The juristic person, the company, was sentenced on counts 1 to 59, which were taken as one for the purpose of sentence of 600,000 rand fine, suspended for 5 years. Count 60, sentence 20,000 rand fine, suspended for 5 years. Count 61 to count 119, taken as one for the purpose of sentence and sentenced to 600,000 rand fine, suspended for 5 years. And count 120, 400,000 rand fine, which is suspended for 5 years. With regard to Manzwe, was sentenced on count 1 to 59, which were taken as one for the purpose of sentence to 10 years imprisonment. In count 60, he was sentenced to 12 months imprisonment. On count 61 to count 119, which were taken as one for the purpose of sentence, he was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. And count 120, sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. The sentences on counts 1 to 59 and 61 to 199 will run concurrently, which means that the Montswe shall serve 15 years imprisonment. It's supposed to read 119, count 61 to count 119. They will run concurrently. In a sense, this means that Montswe shall serve 15 years imprisonment. This sentence shall run concurrently with his existing 36 years imprisonment for the 2017 April murder of his girlfriend in Gauteng. COVID-19 related matters. Those who stole from COVID-19 relief funds shall serve as a living proof that crime does not pay. I shall cite two cases in this regard. Case number 23, convict sentenced for fraud and money laundering. This happened in Gauteng. During 2020, Simpiwe Sihle Linda Brian Sibisi, the director of Spiderwork Media Services and Creative Records Companies, applied for COVID-19 temporary employer-employee relief scheme TERS funds. He made misrepresentation to the Department of Employment and Labour Unemployment Insurance Fund, UIF, by submitting fraudulent claims for 80 employees, whereas such persons have never worked for the two companies. He claimed that the 80 employees suffered financial distress as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. A case was reported and investigated by the Pretoria-based Serious Commercial Crime Investigation. Sibisi was arrested and prosecuted. He pleaded guilty for unlawfully and intentionally defrauding UIF, prejudicing and causing an actual loss of 812,067 rands, which was paid into the company's account. On the 15th of July 2024, he was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment, half of which is suspended by the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court for fraud and money laundering, half of which is also suspended. In case number 24, owner and two companies sentenced for UIF fraud. This happened in the Free State. In March 2020 and December 2020, Lekolonyane Isaac Litseng fraudulently applied for COVID-19 temporary emergency relief funds for the period of 1st March 2020 to the 31st of August 2020 on behalf of individuals purported to be employees of Bophelo Bottle Solution that are affected by COVID-19. This he have done whereas they were not employees. The UIF made 9 different payments to the total amount of 847,000 rand. As a result, the UIF was prejudiced and suffered that loss. Seeing that it is doable, he unrepentantly upped the thieving game. In July 2020 and October 2021, Litseng fraudulently applied for COVID-19 temporary emergency relief scheme fund for a period of 1st July 2020 to 31st of October 2021 on behalf of individuals affected by 2019 and purported to be employed by Isuzu Gibo, a private company. He have done this knowing very well that they are not employed by the company. The UIF made 9 undue payments to the total of 1,010,556 rands. The two cases dockets were registered and referred to the HAWKS Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Bloemfontein for further investigation. On the 25th of April 2024, Litseng was arrested on a warrant of arrest and appeared on 26th of June 2024, where he was charged with his company, Isuzu Gibo. He was granted a 1,000 rand bail. On the 15th of May 2024, Matado Cynthia Litseng, the spouse of Legonyane, was arrested on a warrant of arrest and appeared at court, where she was granted 5,000 rand bail. She was charged with her husband and the Bophelo Bottle Solution Company. On the 22nd of August 2024, Lelokonyane Litseng pleaded guilty on fraud and money laundering for himself and the companies. The court returned a guilty verdict against him and the two juristic persons, that is Bophelo Bottle Solutions and Isuzu Gibo. his spouse was acquitted and retained her innocence. The two charges were combined for sentencing, and Legolonyane Lidzeni was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for fraud and 10 million rand fine for money laundering, which are wholly suspended for 5 years. He was also ordered to repay the complainant 1,780,017 rands, including 11.25% interest within a period of 5 years, starting from the 1st of November 2024, with the final payment on or before the 30th of November 2029. Bophelo Botle Solutions was fined 2 million rand for fraud, 3 million rand for money laundering, which are wholly suspended. Isuzu Gibo was fined 2 million for fraud and 3 million for money laundering, which are wholly suspended. Crime does not pay. In another similar case, in March 2020 and October 2020, Godliso Molaba, Legonyani Class Mudauni, and African Khan Sources Pty Limited applied for 1,396,53 rand for non-existing 80 employees from UIF, which was paid. They were arrested on the 25th and 26th April 2024 respectively. They were granted 1,000 rand bail by Putali Chaba Magistrates Court. On the 10th of September 2024, they pleaded guilty and ordered to pay back the loot to the UIF. Case number 25, accused sentenced to 12 years imprisonment for fraud and money laundering. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. Between July 2015 and October 2016, Naidu was employed by a property administrative company, Phoenix Cash and Carry. His duties was to handle all administration and in respect of rentals of the corporation. He transferred 1.1 million rands into his personal account. This transaction alerted the employer, who then began to question the tenants about the payment of the rent, and they informed him that Naidu had informed them that he will be collecting cash as rent. The owner was then discovered that Naidu had actually defrauded the company in a total amount of 5,873,125 rands. A case of fraud was reported at Phoenix Police Station, and the case docket was allocated to the HAWKS members of Durban Serious Corruption Investigation. In 2017, Naidu was arrested and appeared in court several times. On the 17th of July 2024, the Durban Specialized Commercial Crimes Court convicted him on 346 counts of fraud and money laundering. He was sentenced to 9 years imprisonment on 344 counts of fraud and 3 years imprisonment on 2 counts of money laundering. In case number 26, a cricket union employee to spend 4 years in prison. This happened in the Northern Cape. Between July 2022 and March 2023, Jean Piri van Niekerk, a 25-year-old who was employed by the Northern Cape Cricket Union as a financial manager, misappropriated funds belonging to the employer. Payments that were due to service providers were deposited into his personal bank account. The entity suffered an actual loss of 424,071 rands. The matter was referred to the HAWKS Serious Commercial Crime Investigation, Kimberley, for investigation. On the 21st of December 2023, Van Niekerk was arrested. He appeared at Kimberley Specialized Commercial Crimes Court on fraud charges and theft. On the 31st of July 2024, the court convicted him on 8 counts of theft and fraud. He was sentenced to 4 years direct imprisonment on count 1 to 40 for fraud, and on count 41 to 80, the accused was sentenced 12 months imprisonment, wholly suspended for 5 years, on condition that he is not again found guilty on the same offence during the period of suspension. The convict was further declared unfit to possess a firearm. In case number 27, 3 more sentenced for fraudulent passport scams. This happened in Gauteng. During 2021, a Department of Home Affairs official, Judy Salome Zuma, operating a syndicate of foreign nationals, colluded with the South African citizen to assist foreign nationals from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Democratic Republic of Congo to obtain South African passport by using their identity documents and biometrics. The foreign nationals fraudulently replaced the owner's photos with theirs and assumed the names of the South African citizen. The foreign nationals, Oliver Wendle, Hari Prasad, Moshed Alam, and Saiful Islam Sojan, were respectively arrested on the 19th of October 2022, 16 September 2022, and 25 November 2022. They attempted to leave the country. That is how they got arrested. Zuma pleaded guilty and was convicted on 1,159 counts of fraud, corruption, contravention of Immigration Act 2002, and contravention of Identification Act 69 of 1997. On the 1st of August 2024, she was sentenced to a combined period of 35 years imprisonment for facilitating the activities of a syndicate operating within the Department of Home Affairs. On the 2nd of August 2024, Hari Prasad, Alam and Sojan were sentenced to 12 years imprisonment when they appeared in the Durban Specialized Commercial Crime Court. The trio were found guilty of multiple charges that include corruption, fraud, violations of Identification Act and Immigration Act. Hari Prasad was found to have accepted a gratification for the use of his valid South African identity document to enable an illegible foreign national to access the South African passport in his name. Alan and Sojan were convicted for paying South African nationals to use their personal particulars, which enabled them to fraudulently obtain South African passports. The trio were sentenced to 4 years imprisonment on a charge of fraud and 4 years imprisonment for corruption. A further 2 years imprisonment for contravention of Identification Act, whilst another 2 years imprisonment term was handed down for contravening Immigration Act. All the sentences are ordered to run concurrently, and they will each serve an effective 4 years direct imprisonment. The next category is legal practitioners. Legal practitioners are officers of court. Theirs is a profession of honor. It is important that our learned colleagues should continue to maintain the decorum of this great profession. They must be exemplary to upcoming jurists and jealously insulate the image of this profession. Those who betray that trust need to take full responsibility, and the legal profession council should continue to police those who breach professional ethics. It should ensure that all legal practitioners observe a settled expectation of uberima fights, the highest possible degree of good faith in dealing with their clients during submissions, representation to clients so that they are accurate, honest, and frank. It is comforting that prosecutors and the defense, as well as presiding officers who deal with these matters, are jurists in good standing. I shall cite 8 cases in this regard. Case number 28, attorney steals 39 million of trust funds. That happened in Gauteng. It is alleged that from January 2019 to January 2024, Solomon Slom, who was an attorney attached to Flexman Attorneys, was mandated to administer a client's account called Accro, which had 45 million in trust. He allegedly misappropriated an amount of 39 million from Accro account into his 4 personal bank accounts. When he was confronted by his business partner, he resigned with immediate effect. The matter was investigated by the HAWKS Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Unit in Johannesburg. Slom handed himself on the 26th of August 2024, and he was then arrested and appeared in court. The Palm Ridge Specialized Commercial Crime Court granted him 50,000 rand bail, and the matter was postponed to the 12th of September 2024 for copies of the docket. The matter has now been remanded to the 15th of October for further instructions. In case number 29, an attorney accused in the Zobota municipality fraud. That happened in the Northwest Province. In May 2021, Touret Mambe Tabe Diro, the director of Diro Attorneys, allegedly submitted a request for payment to the Zobota local municipality for legal services he had rendered. Dziedzi Isaac Shema, the then acting director of corporate services at the Zobota local municipality, and Radikachu Isaac Zie approved the request for payment. The matter was investigated by Mahigan-based Serious Commercial Crime Investigation of the HAWKS. The investigation revealed that no services were rendered, and as a result, the municipality suffered a loss of over 460,000 for paying the services that were never rendered. On the 5th of September 2024, Diro and Shema were arrested in Lichtenburg and appeared in the Lichtenburg Magistrate Court on charges of fraud, where they were granted 80,000 rand bail each. Zie was arrested on the 11th of September 2024 for the same fraudulent procurement of legal services and made a brief court appearances and release on 5,000 rand bail. The trio is facing 4 counts of fraud and an alternative theft charge. The case was remanded to the 4th of October 2024, and it is now remanded to the 2nd of December 2024. In case number 30, an attorney arrested for theft and money laundering. This happened in the Western Cape. Between October 2010 and December 2014, Kobi Niven Hayes, 55, who was a duly admitted attorney, notary and conveyancer, practiced as such under the name Niven Hayes Attorneys. During the period of March 2011 and to December 2014, she was appointed by the Master of the High Court as Executor of the estate of the late C.K. Flores. She was obliged to transfer the funds to the estate of the deceased, but instead of executing such legal duty, she allegedly misappropriated the funds to the amount of 243,600 rand. The matter was investigated by the HAWKS Belleville-based Serious Commercial Crime Investigation. A warrant of arrest was issued against her. On the 11th of September 2024, the HAWKS team arrested her. She appeared at the Belleville Magistrates Court on the 12th of September 2024, and the matter was postponed to the 19th September 2024 for bail, information, and legal representation. The case was later postponed on 4 occasions, and it is now postponed to the 14th October for further bail processes. Case number 31, an attorney steal from the Road Accident Fund, RAF. This happened in the Eastern Cape province. On the 4th of August 2020, a person was admitted at Livingstone Hospital for an ankle injury, which was sustained because of jumping over a fence to escape gunshots. Mukululi Inoko Dogota of Joan Krunjie attorney submitted an 8,844,000 rand false claim to the Road Accident Fund on behalf of the patient as his client. He falsely claimed that his client was injured in a hit-and-run motor vehicle accident that occurred on the 4th of August 2020 near Kosho Street in Kariega. The Forensic Investigation Department of the RAF established that the claimant was on that date of the accident admitted in hospital for ankle injury which was sustained as a result of jumping over a fence while fleeing from gunshots, and not a hit-and-run incident as reported. The claim was then rejected. The Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Unit of Tebea investigated the matter. On the 27th of February 2024, Dogota was summoned to appear in the Kariega court on the 22nd of March 2024. On the 19th of September 2024, the accused was convicted on one count of fraud and sentenced to a fine of 10,000 rand or 3 years imprisonment. This means that the court has certified him as a criminal, which certificate is to be filed with the Criminal Record Center. Until expungement, the label sticks. Case number 32, an attorney in court for road accident fund theft. This again happened in the Eastern Cape. On the 16th of April 2021 at about 1800 hours, the complainant, who was a passenger, was involved in a car accident that happened in East London. The victim was rushed to Manfred Hospital in an ambulance where she was hospitalized for 5 weeks due to the severity of the injuries. Upon discharge, she visited Masitole Bangiso, an attorney at Masitole Bangiso Attorneys for Road Accident Fund claim. Bangiso took her to a specialist to prove the severity of her injuries, whereafter he made an application for an amount of 550,000 claim to RAF. On June 2023, the complainant was told that the payment of a claim would be made by December 2023, but all this was in vain. On the 3rd of January 2024, she called the attorney to check on the progress of the claim, as she had lost her brother and needed to use the money to assist during the funeral preparation. He confirmed that he received the payment of the money from RAF in his trust account, but he failed to transfer the funds to the complainant's account. Instead of transferring the funds, he repeatedly made excuses. The complainant approached the Legal Practice Council for assistance, where it was confirmed that the amount of 550,000 was indeed paid to the attorney's trust account on the 3rd of January 2024. The attorney was approached by the Legal Practice Council, and an amount of 500,000 was then paid to the complainant. In March 2024, a case was lodged with the police, and the East London-based Serious Corruption Investigation of the HAWKS investigated the matter. The investigation established that the funds used to pay this victim were actually money paid out by RAF for another client of Bangiso, and not the one who is being paid. The two transactions resulted in RAF losing an actual prejudice in an amount of more than R1 million. On the 9th of September 2024, Bangiso was arrested by the Hawks and appeared in East London Magistrate Court, where he was released on R4,000 bail. The matter is postponed to the 4th of November 2024. In case number 33, attorney defraud the road accident fund. Again, this happened in the Eastern Cape. In March 2024, the Road Accident Fund reported the case at Madeira Police Station for fraud, forgery and uttering. It was alleged that Nicholas Bambeni lodged a claim for compensation at RAF through an attorney, Michael Songezo Tuswa of MS Tuswa Incorporated, based in Mthatha, for an amount of R4,200,000 and cited that he was involved in a hit-and-run accident as a pedestrian near the R61 Misty Road in Lebode. The Mthatha Serious Commercial Crime Investigation of the Hawks confirmed that Bambeni was in fact the driver of the motor vehicle which capsized on the gravel road near Mkwalani location in Lebode. Bambeni reported a false docket of hit and run 5 months after the alleged accident occurred. Bambeni passed away, unfortunately, on the 28th of January 2023 due to natural causes. This was while the RAF investigation was still in progress. It was established that Tuswa manipulated a medical legal report specialist orthopedic surgeon based in Pretoria and added fictitious information pertaining to the opinion on damages to support the claim for compensation, which was vehemently denied by the surgeon. Furthermore, upon demise of Mabeni, Tuswa forged the signature of Ambeswa Ranelo, who is the youngest daughter of Bambeni. And he appointed himself as the executor of the estate of the late Bambeni. Through the misrepresentation to the office of the Mthatha Master of the High Court, he successfully received the letter of authority. He submitted all these fraudulent documents to the RAF, causing it to suffer a potential prejudice of R4,200,000. A warrant of arrest was issued against Tuswa, who was arrested on the 25th of September 2024 and appeared at Mthatha Specialized Commercial Crime Court on the 26th of September 2024. He is facing charges of fraud, forgery and uttering forged documents. The accused was granted R5,000 bail, and the case is postponed to the 4th of November 2024 for docket disclosure. In case number 34, attorney sentenced for stealing from deceased estate. This happened in Gauteng. On the 11th of July 2007, Silo Ishmael Mabena was struck off the role of practicing attorneys by Gauteng Division of the High Court sitting in Pretoria. A complaint reported to the police sparked an investigation by the Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Unit of Johannesburg. The investigation revealed that there is falsehood in the alleged executor of the deceased estate of the late Phyllis Teper. On the 19th of October 2013, Phyllis Teper passed on and was survived by her husband. Maurice Kaplan was appointed to deal with the administration of the estate. The later lodged the claim with the administrator of the estate of the Master of the High Court, Johannesburg. While he was still waiting a response from the Master's office, Ben Lepley was fraudulently appointed as an executor of the estate. The fraudster opened a bank account in the name of Ms. Phyllis de Biteper. On the 1st October 2014, an amount of 1.3 million rand was transferred into the said bank account. The third monies were spent on various transactions, including the payment of the salary of the staff of Mabena at Bachivi's property holding, which received 800,000 rand from the estate. Lepli, who received 100,000 rand, passed away on 24 January 2015, and the rest of the money was spent by Mabena. The Serious Commercial Crime Investigation of the HAWKS Johannesburg investigated this matter. On the 8th of February 2016, Mabena, who deliberately created false letters of executorship and forged the signatures of an officer employed by the Master of the High Court, was arrested. On the 7th of July 2024, he was convicted of theft. During its judgment, the court described Mabena as a pathological liar due to his consistent claims of repaying the stolen money, despite evidence to the contrary that he advanced. Mabena's repeated false assertion led to the court questioning his credibility. On the 18th of September 2024, the Johannesburg Specialized Commercial Crime Court sitting in Palm Ridge sentenced Mabena, a former attorney, to 7 years imprisonment for this theft. Coming to corruption. Corruption continues to pose a challenge in the country, and the Directorate shall respond without fear, favor, or prejudice. I shall cite 5 cases in this regard. Case number 35. Major General retired Advocate Perfo, convicted of corruption. This is head office. In August 2017, an applicant who was a former employee of the SAPS had applied for a brigadier's post and was shortlisted. During the assessment, she was approached by the accused, now the convict, Major General retired Advocate Tuso Hauhagwe Perfo, 62 years old, who gave her a document containing what he said would be expected in the interviews. The complainant said, upon opening the document, she realized that it was a case study. She further indicated that the convict solicited 70,000 rand for the document. The complainant paid the accused, the convict, 48,000 rand in cash. On the 2nd of August 2017, an inquiry was opened which prompted the conducting of an entrapment. The senior manager was arrested on the 13th of August 2017 after demand and receiving the balance of 22,000 rand. The accused was released on bail of 4,000 rand and appeared 48 times in court until his conviction. In the meantime, the complainant was dismissed from the police and the convict was acquitted in a departmental case. He took an early retirement on the 31st of March 2020. On the 26th of August 2024, the Kimberley Regional Court convicted Perfo for contravening of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, PROCA, that was brought against him in August 2017. The case has been postponed to the 18th of October 2024 for sentencing purpose. After conviction, bail was not extended and the convict is remanded in custody. The convict applied for bail pending sentence and the matter was heard on the 23rd of September 2024 and judgment was set and delivered on the 30th of September 2024, which failed. Case number 36, 27 traffic officers examiners and driving school owners arrested for fraud and corruption. This happened in Mpumalanga. During 2021, information from crime intelligence led the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation to register a project named Kwanele. This means enough in isiZulu. An investigation was conducted by the HAWKS Mpumalanga-based Serious Corruption Investigation in collaboration with the National Road Traffic Management Corporation regarding the driver's license testing examiners who colluded with driving school owners and issued learner's license and driver's license to applicants without following the due processes. They were not conducting prescribed tests and assisting the applicants when they write learners licenses test. This was not supposed to be the case. Allegations were that during the process of obtaining learner's license, applicants were assisted and given answers by the examiners who were working with driving school owners to facilitate the exercise. Driver's licenses were allegedly issued to applicants without being tested and paying exorbitant amount of cash. Unconventional investigation methodology was applied and a sting operation resulted in driver's license being obtained from corrupt officials and driving schools operators. Warrants of arrest were authorized for fraud, corruption, and contravening of the National Road Traffic Act 93 of 1996. On the 16th and 17th September 2024, the warrants were executed by multidisciplinary teams comprising of Mpumalanga Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, Road Traffic Management Corporation, and Crime Intelligence. The arrest took place at different places in Sapi, Graskop, Leidenberg, Hazeview, Charles, Seliers, Gabokweni, Kanyamazani, Nelspruit, Malelane, White River, Calcutta, and Verina. 27 accused, starting with the youngest one, Momo Beauty Matebula, ending with the eldest one, Sipo Solomon Magamu 64, were arrested. I will not read their names, all their names, but they will be appearing on the written report. They appeared at different courts and granted bail of between 1,000 rand and 10,000 rand. Their cases are postponed to the dates between the 16th of October to the 23rd of November 2024 in the different courts in Mpumalanga. Coming to the next case, case number 37. 7 policemen and a civilian arrested for extortion and corruption. This happened in KwaZulu-Natal. On the 8th of September 2024, the members from Durban Serious Corruption Investigation received a complaint of corruption at Phoenix area. The complainant alleged that while he was busy at his shop, one customer entered and requested 3 cartons of cigarette. He paid 400 rands and was given back his change. Few minutes later, 4 suspects entered the shop and one of them introduced himself as a police official. He further introduced his accomplice as colleagues from Pretoria. They then searched the shop and confiscated stock of cigarettes, claiming that it was counterfeit cigarettes. They drove to Phoenix police station where they demanded 100,000 rand gratification in order to release the complainant together with his stock. The complainant managed to raise an amount of 79,500 rands. Upon receipt of information, the HAWKS members swiftly responded with an unconventional investigation method as provided for in terms of Section 252A of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977. 4 suspects were arrested immediately after taking cash. On the 9th of September 2024, The remaining 4 members handed themselves over to the HAWKS, and they were all arrested for corruption and extortion. The 8 suspects are Constable Singh, Warrant Officer Mashabela, Sergeant Makubela, Sergeant Nguza, Sergeant Sishi, Sergeant Lamini, Sergeant Zulu, and a civilian Dion Naidu. They appeared in the Durban Magistrate Court, where they were granted 7,000 rand bail each. Investigation continues and more arrest is expected. The case is postponed to the 7th of November 2024. In case number 38, convict gets 5 years imprisonment in Digital Vibes. That is head office matter. In 2018, Municipal Infrastructure Support Agent MISA, which fell under the Department of Cooperative Government and Traditional Affairs, awarded a tender of 3.9 million rand to Digital Vibes to render communication services for 24 months, starting from the 20th of July 2018 to the 19th of July 2020. Between 2018 and 2020, Lizeka Tunjeni, a former director in MISA support agent, received 8 payments totaling 160,000 rand from Digital Vibes, which had a contract with the department in which she was employed. She was actually responsible for management of that project. She had not made any financial disclosures between 2018 and 2020. In May 2022, Tonjeni was arrested by the Serious Corruption Investigation of Head Office for corruption in respect of accepting this 160,000 rand gratification from Digital Vibes. She appeared at Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, where she was released on 5,000 rand bail with condition that she should hand in her passport to the clerk of the court and should not apply for a new passport. Furthermore, she should not travel outside Gauteng province unless she applies from the investigating officer. Regardless of the bail condition, she traveled to Eastern Cape without telling the investigator and applied for a passport just 7 days before a judgment was delivered. The court rejected her defense that she sold health care products to a lady at Digital Vibes for 94,000 rand 600 rands and took loans from her which were meant for a farming business. On the 24th of May 2024, she was convicted on 8 counts of fraud. After the judgment, the state opposed her application to extend her bail as she failed to comply with the conditions. The matter was postponed to the 6th of June 2024 for sentencing proceedings, and later 27 of September 2024, where she was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. This is the first leg of Digital Vibes, a related case that has been concluded. Case number 39, Uruguayan doctor sentenced. That is in KwaZulu-Natal. In 2006, a contract of water purification was entered into between the Department of Health in KwaZulu-Natal and a Uruguayan doctor, Gaston Savoy, 71 years old. He was accused of fraud and corruption relating to this 2006 contract of water purification, as well as the Northern Cape, where 4 cases were reported at Kimberley. The cases were on the High Court roll with other co-accused. The cases were investigated by the Durban Serious Commercial Crime Investigation of the HAWKS. The allegations were leveled against officials employed within the Northern Cape Department of Wealth and public and private individuals. The allegation related to the procurement and the purchasing of 10 water purification plants for medical use at provincial hospitals within the Northern Cape. Contracts were awarded to a company named Intaka Holding based in Cape Town. After fraudulent tender documents were submitted by the Provincial Tender Board of the Northern Cape. This was subsequently approved that Intaka Holdings will render the service. There was no improvement in the water purification plant system, although money was paid to Intaka Holdings for the services rendered. After the awarding of the contract, officials at the Department of Health received gratification from Intaka Holdings. The suspect was arrested and charged for fraud, corruption, and money laundering. On the 5th of September 2024, Savoy was convicted on 3 counts of corruption and 1 count of fraud by the KwaZulu-Natal High Court Division sitting at Pietermaritzburg after a plea and sentence agreement in terms of Section 105A of the Criminal Procedure Act. He was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment or 5 million rand fine and a further 10 years imprisonment, which is wholly suspended for 5 years. Over and above, a confiscation order was issued in favor of the state in the amount of 60 million rands. He was also ordered to pay an amount of 15 million rands toward the cost of the curatorship. May we recall that Dumisani Sipho Shabalala, the former head of Treasury in KwaZulu-Natal, was convicted and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment in 2022 for corruption, contravention of the Public Finance Management Act, money laundering, by receiving gratification in an amount of 1.5 million in respect of contract that was initially signed at 22 million and subsequently increased to 50 million rand in respect of this specific Intaka company. No other case docket that includes charges of pattern of racketeering activities. The other cases that include the pattern of racketeering activities, which I said is organized crime, will continue in the Northern Cape High Court Division at a later stage. The last case, number 40, fraudster of Escom Kusile Power Station extradited. This is a head office matter. Between April 2015 and April 2017, Michael Lomas, a Briton, offered gratification and made payments to a number of individuals and companies to influence tenders relating to Escom. It is alleged that a tender was fraudulently awarded to a company called Tubular Construction Project Pty Limited for services which were initially part of the tender awarded to another company, Alstom SNE Africa. Tubular paid an entity owned by an official in Escom who was instrumental in awarding a tender to the amount of 745,804,316 rands. On the 19th of December 2019, Franz Tlagudi, Abraham Masango, and Haston Komotswani, together with 7 juristic persons, were secured before the court on allegations of fraud and corruption at Escom Kusile Power Station project by the DPCI Serious Economic Offences Head Office. Lomas escaped the country and went to United Kingdom. He was arrested in UK on April 2021 and extradition process started. On the 20th of September 2024, he arrived in South Africa and appeared at Kempton Park Magistrate Court, where his case was postponed to the 27th of September 2024 at the Johannesburg Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, sitting at Palm Ridge. Lomas is in custody and the case is postponed to the 28th of October 2024 for the disclosure of the case docket. As I conclude, let me indicate that this statement is my ante-penultimate quarterly media briefing. Allow me to repeat that in line with our motto of seek, find and strike, the DPCI shall continue to execute its mandate without fear, favor or prejudice in accordance with the Constitution and other laws of the Republic. I thank you.
Thank you very much, General Lubia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to mention that the reason why the presentation seems to be taking so long, it is because now the national head not only depicts the work that is done by the HAWKS, but also the successful collaboration with other entities like your NPA, SARS, and Home Affairs and others in ensuring that those who are involved in various high-profile cases are brought to book. Without any waste of time, I'd like to take questions. We will start from in-house, and then Takalani will take us through the online questions. Can I see by a show of hands if there are questions? And if there are, you cite your name and the media house you're presenting. Oh, seems to not have questions online. General, I think you've done a great work. Everybody's satisfied. Takalani, is there anything online? Nothing online. Okay. No. Thank you very much. Then, General, this brings us to the end of our briefing. Thank you.